Good evening to the Tiashans in the house. This is Mr. Abundance. I take this time to welcome each and every one of you to today's Sunday session, the 19th of July, 2020. In the beginning, you will do a lot of things that you will not get paid for. But if you remain consistent and persistent, you will get paid for a lot of things that you would not have done. And I will repeat that. I said in the beginning, you will do a lot of things that you may not get paid for. But if you remain consistent and persistent, you will get paid for a lot of things that you would not have done. That is the principle of patience. The principle of patience, pursuing one's goal. You must be prepared to fail on your way to success. You know, you have many persons who are talking about how cryptocurrency, how an IEO, how an ICO should go, what it should look like. I also want them to look at coin market cap. With all those coins that went to the market, basically 24 hours or 7 days in their launch, and ask yourself, how are they doing today? And so in the beginning, you will do a lot that you may not get paid for. But if you remain consistent and persistent, you will get paid for a lot you have not done. We have come a long way in terms of the industries. Started out in the first industrial revolution, where locomotive and mechanization of things. We went into the second industrial revolution, where oil and gas, electricity took over mass production. We entered the third industrial revolution with telecommunication, computerization, the Internet of Things that create massive wealth, especially for the tech industry, the dot-com bubble. The fourth industrial revolution is at our doorstep. And that is why 5G technology is very critical to advance artificial intelligence, robotics, the Internet of Things, blockchain technology, and cryptocurrency. We are now entering the blue economy. This economy will create billionaires and trillionaires like no economy has done to date. That is why the new standard of poverty will, when this industry would have reached its climax, the new standard of poverty will be a millionaire downwards. We saw what $15 invested in Bitcoin 10 years ago, an unknown coin, what that could produce. We saw DAFs, dropouts, became millionaire overnight. There is a way to create money, and there are no limits to how much you can create. And so we are in that era of cryptocurrency, powered by blockchain technology that allows for peer-to-peer transaction, fast, more secure, without a third trusted party. And that is why the banks and the governments and the elites does not want cryptocurrency, because it cuts them out completely. It takes out the middleman. It takes out the central banks. That's why they don't like cryptocurrency. We don't need the banks. And your wallet operates 24 hours and your money goes with you anywhere you go. They don't like that, because they can't continue to steal and to rob. And so TACC basically gave birth January 30th. And we are presently in our second round of sales, where the coin is now at 50 cents. That round finishes on the 15th of September 2020. Equally, the third round begins September 15th, ends December 31st, 2020. We knew that between now and December, we must certify the coin. The coin must be certified to go on the market. There were no two ways about that, because that is how the procedure of certification goes when you have a public coin. And so I am saying to the Tiashans in the house, as I've been saying ad nauseum, that do not look at TACC the way it is now, but rather look at TACC at what she can become, and she will become what she should. TACC must certify the coin by raising 2.5 million to assist with our social programs, our Afro Rollback Malaria program, where we must see the eradication of poverty from the continent of Africa. We also spoke about our Afro-Caribbean international musical, cultural, and trade, where we showcase our talents, coming together, trading, creating synergies, business relationships. We talk about our Afro-Caribbean Cup of Nations. That is the sporting aspect of it. Our radio and television that will constantly keep the image and the vision and the mission of TACC before our brothers and sisters globally. I said, according to, and a lot of persons don't like Mr. Abundance when Mr. Abundance says this, but it has to be said, because Marcus Garvey said that if any other race put a program to free us as the global slave, know that that program is one of slavery. That is leadership of slavery. And that is what the Chinese have done to us today. They are giving us a program, as it were, to economically make us independent. That is what they are saying. They have said it to our African brothers and sisters and to the Caribbean, and our leaders bought it line, hook, and sinker. That's what the Chinese has done. But look at what is now happening at the backside when they failed to repay those loans that they were given. China is now taking back their most prized possession. And eventually they are so bolden today that they even have their own security forces in a sovereign country. Can you imagine? There are places that they own in your country that you cannot go because our governments have been bribed before they sign in Chinese language. And so they don't care. They don't care. And so we have to come together and rescue ourselves as a people. Look at the Jews who came to their rescue. What methodology do they have among themselves? I'm asking you the question. Far as my research gathered, that before the Jews go out of their race to buy from anyone, they made sure that that money is circulated at least 18 times among themselves before it slips out. That is how they can amount wealth. And that is why they're so respected around the world. China 40 years ago could not feed itself. It was so bad that they had to enact the China one child policy. Today, China is a global force to reckon with, economically, militarily, socially. Who came to their rescue? South Korea. Look at South first world economy. The same year, both South Korea and Ghana, they got election, independence. Look at the difference in economy. Cameroon, look at the difference in economy from South Korea. Look at Singapore. And they basically have nothing, not even 5% of the natural resources. But look at the economy. Who came to their rescue? But we are the only ones who think that somebody must come to our rescue instead of our own selves. And so today, we want to look at, should TACC go to the exchange on or before September 15th, 2020? Or should we go in December 2020? Now, I want the Tiashans to understand that with all the excitement that we have of an offer to certify the coin, we also have to understand that this is not a coin that is intended to create a 1%. If that is the case, we may as well lock down the shop and go back home and support another coin. We may as well do that. If that is all we're thinking about. Because may I say to you, as one brother told me, Mr. Abundance, money doesn't change anyone, you know. Money brings out the true nature of the beast. The true nature of the beast. and especially those who only think of themselves and their pockets. That is why we are where we are. Because once it is good with me, I don't care what happens. At the same time, the doors will not be open and until all of us decided it is safe to go in. The doors will not be open until all of us feel and see that it's safe. And so we do not want to artificially or prematurely give birth to TACC. This is the time I am saying to the Tiashans to double up and triple up on your, especially those who are in the foundation and the special project, and those who were in the $25 slot. It is the time now for you to revisit and to position yourself, because that was what TACC was intended to do, to create a solid financial economic foundation for us, for people that have been deprived. We have failed so far to expand the community the way it should. And so one option, because we have several options. Mr. Abundance could take the offer and stagger the certification of the coin, but we must do it before December 31st. We could hold the coin, hold the funds as a security, that we no longer have to be thinking about getting the coin certified. The money is there. And so it can be used as a marketing tool to let our brothers and sisters know, listen, this is no longer about if the coin will be certified, but rather an opportunity for you to come in at this time, because because what we're doing, what I am now saying to you, the money will be held as security that the coin is already certified, basically, in principle. But by running up the clock to allow our brothers and sisters to max out their purchase when the coin is at its lowest, I am saying to you, for what I am seeing, once we let TACC on the market, you will not be able to control the price. And by doing that, we will only create a 1%. And so we could hold the funds as a backup guaranteed security and say to the Tiashans, listen, the certification of the coin money, that's not the issue now. The issue is how many people can we rise? And let me throw this one in, because a lot of our Tibetians brothers think that we're doing this against them. Oh, no. A matter of fact, may I say to the TBC admin that once Mr. Abundance put this coin on the market, because the market will take care of it, with all our social programs and institutional investors and governments and TV and radio play, it will take a life of its own. I have said from day one, and I maintain it, the Abundance Community Coin must be a public coin that hits number 1. And TBC, our private coin, must be the premier coin as a stable coin for the global economy. And so we are basically, most of us are all Tiashans. And you think that we are going to let our money go? No, 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 no. Mr. Abundance only paused to demonstrate what I've been saying. It's all about leadership. It's not about Mr. Abundance. The TACC community is an example for what we can do if we become meaningful. If we fire all the scammers in TBC and those who are ignorant with greed and selfishness, we can push that coin to mass production. And it will happen. The thing about it, I don't need the admin endorsement to push TBC to the finish line. No, I don't need it. I've never needed it in the first place, and I would not need it now. Because anybody can promote TBC once or exhibition. That is what you need to know. You don't need to suck up to anybody. You don't need to get anybody's approval. The days of slavery has long gone. We don't need a master to tell us anything. Is the program legitimate? Is it a program to help everybody? Well, let's move with it. That's all you need to know. And so once we are done, put this on the market. TBC, here we come. A lot of people, character is online. A lot of people we brought into TBC. And you think that we're going to just turn our back? Oh, no, it will not. No, 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 no. That's not the kind of leadership we have here. Maybe a lot of them who are in TBC who do not understand leadership would have loved to see this boat sunk. But we are not like that. We are here to be our brother's keeper. And so today, yes, I went off tangent just now, but this is for whom it may concern. And they know exactly who I am speaking. It's our brother and sister society that most of us here also belong. We have billions of dollars in crypto invested in that company. And so we cannot see it go down. But things has to change. And so it's not finished yet. And so I am just saying to my brothers and sisters in the Tibetan community, don't make pride cause you to suffer. Because all of us here, most of us, we have TBC. And so if TBC go tomorrow, mass adoption, it does not make your money mass adoption and our not mass adoption. So don't fool yourself. But that's how narrow-minded people thinks. When you rise everybody, because all of us have our wallets. All of us have our wallets. And so what do we do in TACC? Now that we are faced with the possibility of we can go to the market before the end of the month, by the end of September, by the end of October, by the end of November, we now are in a position to choose when we go to the exchange. And so going to the exchange is no longer the factor here. The factor here is when we go, how many people that need this coin will have it. And so I am saying to the Tiashan, as we debate how we should move so that we can lift not a few of us. Bitcoin came in and Bitcoin was at 0.003 of a cent 10 years ago. Nobody paid attention. Everybody called it fake. Had you bought $15, as I always said 10 years ago, you would have had nearly $50 million today in whatever country you live. I said with a $15 investment, you would have had. And so we know that TACC will be greater. TACC will be greater. But Bitcoin, even though at 9,400 today, still remain in a 1% hand. And we don't want that to happen in TACC. Bitcoin has not moved the percentage of poverty in the poorest country in the world. It has not built any infrastructure for the poorest countries in the world. It has not changed the economic system, the political system for any of the poorest countries in the world. It has not. And so, in fairness, TACC cannot repeat the same, because when we embarked upon TACC, our mission is to be the alternate financial solution to settle the Afro-Caribbean debt to China and to the globe. Our vision is to address inequality, to create socio-economic channels from Africa to the diaspora, to see a United Nations of Africa in our lifetime, one currency, one parliament, one president, one system, one military in our lifetime. They don't want that, because the day that happens, countries like France will drop to a level worse than a third world country. I said we shall weep for France in our days because of her greed, her financial atrocities that she have led to propagate in Africa. We cannot continue down that road. We don't need anyone to help us. They need us to help them and to make them millionaires and billionaires. We don't need anyone but unity with a vision of the future. That's what we need. That's what we need. For you to change a culture, you cannot change a culture with the memories of the past, nor of your present reality. You will only repeat what you have gotten. But for you to change a culture, it must be a vision of the future. And this is where leadership comes in, because there's a difference between leadership and management. Management likes the comfort of a system. They manage systems very well. The 80s and the 90s, management were very comfortable. But in the 21st century, you need leaders, because leaders know, except the system be disrupted, they will not bring forth their best. And so leaders go where no one have been before. Leaders lost themselves in opportunity to create it and leave it for management to manage. And so there's a difference between leadership and management. And so today we are faced with the question, should TACC go on the exchange before December? And what would be the consequences of prematurely? What are the advantages? What are the disadvantages? And so let me bring you now into the debate as I welcome the entire house. Let the debate begin, and please have your say. This say is for This is for everybody to have their say so that we can all be on the same page. As you know, Mr. Abundance is an open book. There's nothing here in secret. There's nothing done here in secret. Every purchase that have been made went through the admin of the abundance. So my admin, they have the books. There's nothing to hide. Every cent has been accounted for. This is what you call transparency. So I can't say, you know what, in the private sale, we only make a $10,000. No, because whether you put it in in Bitcoin or you gave it in cash, we have admins. This is what you call transparency of the highest order. There's no scamming. There's no thieves allowed to be on the ship. You will get very uncomfortable. We don't have no time to entertain scammers. This is too important of a mission. We are canceling over 2,000 years of slavery, of being the global slave. At least be a meaningful specifics for once. For once. The world has stand still. In this fourth industrial revolution, the world has stand still to give you a chance to become what you have never been. This is your moment, and history shall look back and judge us for either being a person of value or a wandering generality, wandering after everything, and eventually wandered after nothing. I'm glad to be in the house of the historical fighters and winners in TACC. Good evening. Pastor Joseph over there in Uganda, I believe. Yes. Emmanuel, yes, welcome. Let the debate begins. Good evening, Etiashan. I'm from Ghana. Thank you very much, Mohammed. You're welcome. Good afternoon, people in the house. William, my namesake. William, where are you from? Yes, my namesake is in the house. NK, good evening. Please put your country, please, where you're coming from. Greetings to all the Tiashans and leaders in the community. Sanjo, yes, please put your Fred Rampton, very consistent, I must say. Good evening, our global TACC family. Our future is in our hands. That's from the United Kingdom. What is your say? We want to hear your say. What is your position with TACC going to the exchange? How do you feel? Do you think that we're ready? Do you think that by going to the exchange that we will bring more people, and at what cost? One said we should manipulate the coins, as many have done. I don't so much like that word manipulating. Eh? It doesn't go well with Mr. Abundance. And Mr. Abundance, you're too honest for this thing. And you know, when I remember 2004, I was working in New York, and the operations manager on the shift says, you know, Mr. Abundance, I was Williams at that time, but you know, I've been reborn. Mr. Abundance, you are too honest. He says, listen to me, this world is not designed for honest people. Yes, he says, look at me, he said, no, you're too honest. He said, this world is not designed for honest people. I'm talking about 2004 in New York. From South Africa, Vui, no de Inji. Have mercy. Good evening to the Honorable House. Gabriel watching from our youth ambassador. watching from our global youth ambassador, watching from Nigeria. Frederick, good evening, Mr. Abundance from Nigeria. Yes, good evening. Good evening, house. Chris Okonbo. Yes, welcome. Please, I didn't give you guys your names, though. Jeffrey Gasper. Good evening, Tiashin. Gasper watching from Tanzania. Thank you very much, my dear brother from Tanzania. We need to see a little bit more action coming out of Tanzania. You know, I need to have an executive meeting with Tanzania because I know Tanzania is a progressive country. You know, I think one of your former president, is it Julius Nyerere? I think he's very progressive. So please let us live up to Julius Nyerere ambition. Good evening, great minds. Tag on my mind always. The fourth industrial revolution. Yes. Good evening, Tashan. Nobondu. Ololo. Sigazinga from South Africa. Thank you very much. Our European ambassador who took our training yesterday. We want to say thank you again, Madam Brooks. Good evening, house and newcomers. Thank you very much. Please indicate your country. That's correct. Madam Brooks is in the UK. Good evening to the house from Cameroon, Yem. We welcome you. Blessings to the house of Tiashans and our visionary leader, Mr. Abundance. Failure is not an option. Give us stock or give us debt. That is our Assistant National Executive Coordinator, Mr. Carr. Greetings from the Bahamas. Yes, that's our Director of Marketing and Business Development and our National Executive Coordinator for the Bahamas, Mr. Taylor. Sithole, good evening, community of Tiashans. My suggestion is to take the offer, but under certain rules to avoid price depreciation. Example, to have a contract of 10% after 2 years withdrawal limits. A contract of 10% after 2 years withdrawal limits. I'm not too sure if we can put such a contract when we do not have that control. You see what I'm saying? It sounds good, but when you are the business person, would you bear that stipulation? You see, and so we cannot dictate how persons receive coin when they would have paid. And so, as I said, we either take it, reject it, take it as a security, or we get to work and expand the community. And so we do it on our own. That's it. Good evening, Tiashin. Yes, we have you. Good evening, Mr. Abundance Stephen Fete from Ghana. Thank you very much. We are now debating greeting house from Nigeria, husband. Yes. Good evening, house. TACC was created because of some special personality, mainly for the fortune set by God and wise creatures. Good evening. I'm watching from South Africa. Thank you very much, Mandisa. Hello, Tiashand. Mala Gumbi. Thank you very much, Mr. Gumbi, out of South Africa. From Lesotho. That's our, I think that is our leader there, our National Executive Coordinator. Good evening, Mr. Abundance and the Tiashans in the house. tough decision to make. May God give us wisdom to make the right one, because whatever decision we make, we should be able to live with it. And that is true. Good evening, Tiashans. Yes, good evening, Mr. N4, our French translator and national executive coordinator for France. Memela. Evening to the global community of Tiashan watching from South Africa. By South Africa is in the house. That's what I'm saying now. I am saying that we shall see something out of South Africa that we never anticipated. South Africa, as I said last week, the community is looking at you for leadership. I think we have made all adjustment to ensure exactly that happens. And you are here making your presence felt. I salute you, Mr. Abundance, by this idea of securing the coin, and we continue helping the needy people to hold it till December. That's one vote there. Good evening to the Tiashans in the house, and a special one to Mr. Abundance watching from Dubai. We want to thank you, our good brother, even though the time is, morning. I am agree with you, Mr. Abundance. I am from Ghana. Mac Robert, thank you very much. That's a second vote there for what I'm suggesting. As a matter of fact, you don't need to agree with Mr. Abundance. I'm only making suggestions. But at the end of the day, wisdom must prevail. You see, wisdom must prevail. Good evening, my dear leader and mentor, Mr. Abundance. I am pleased to be here. Thank you very much. Madam Cynthia Brown, hailing again from the Bahamas. Good evening, Mr. Abundance and the Tiashan. We are in an excellent place. Let's move forward with haste. I like that. We are in an excellent place. I like that. I go with you, Mr. Abundance. Somebody there is going with Mr. Abundance. Let more people come in first. Blessings. Good day, Mr. Abundance and the entire family of Tiashan. TACC and the Tiashans are on fire to set the globe on fire. And that is what we need to do. Now that we are almost there, because as I said, Mr. Abundance have not said yay or nay. As I've always done by principle, any major development that has to be taken within this community, it will be done with the full understanding and clarity within the community. That was what we had from day one, and nothing will change that, because that is how we operate. Nothing is hidden. There's no hidden agenda. A matter of fact, I did not enter that meeting yesterday by myself. I ensure that a reputable leader within this community was with Mr. Abundance and will be with Mr. Abundance as we continue this negotiation. That's how I operate. There is no closed room, backroom deal with Mr. Abundance. I tell you, none of you can bribe Mr. Abundance. None of you can bribe Mr. Abundance. I am not up for sale. I am not moved by money nor position. I already told you that already. We have too many of that. You give a person a few dollars and they disappear. We have too many of that. Our names are now in the gutter. And it's not your fault. A lot of us joined organization and we brought a lot of people in, and it has disgraced us that when good opportunities come around, we can't say anything because our integrity has been dashed, and no one dare to listen or to take us serious. And that is the problem many of you in TACC are now facing. Many of you are facing that today because you brought in a lot of people in other companies and only to disgrace yourself, only to lose credibility that you have built for years. We don't have that luxury in TACC. TACC is here to repair the breach and to restore what have been eaten for years. That is what we have here. And that is why scammers are not welcome. Greetings to the house watching from Nigeria, Johnny the Bank. It goes well with Mr. Abundance. Well done, sir. Great day. Meeting with you. Congratulations. Sunday, thank you very much, sir. Blessing Goodwin. Is this our regional northern coordinator from Nigeria? Then the names look familiar. If it is Madam Pastor Blessing Goodwin, I just want to acknowledge the great work that you have done while we're in the foundation. I am not too sure if anyone has brought more people to TACC than you have. I know in the foundation, and I think I saw yesterday you had a meeting with Tiashan at your church. You are highly favored, and history shall recall you if it is Madam Blessing Goodwin, First Lady of Pastor Goodwin. We want to thank you. Good evening, Mr. Abundance and all the teachers in the house. I humbly suggest that TACC should go for the exchange after the second round. Let's see, madam. Good evening, Mr. Abundance and all the entire family, Mr. Friday. Sammy Sams, we must go to the end of November because we have a lot of people who are in need of this coin, and I know that. Our slogan says, one TACC, one child, one youth, one TACC. Are we satisfied that we have executed our slogan? As you look around in your community, in your country, are you satisfied, Tiashans, with the work that you have done? Are you satisfied that TACC going on the exchange at the end of the second round would affect our mission and our vision and our goal and our slogan? Are you satisfied? If you are, let's move on. Diana McDonald, our Senior Executive National Coordinator for Antigua and Barbuda. TACC has a mission which is one TACC, one child. We should look out for the economical advancement for all. This is the ultimate mission of TACC. My dear sister, you have a point that we need to look out, but also there will come a time when the door has to be closed. Hello, visionaries. I am Salufu Ibrahim from Ghana, More Fire Mentor. Thank you very much, sir. Oh, dear me, I think we came to the end. Oh, hold on a minute. Oh. I thought just now that we were at the end of the debate. All right, good day all. John, Brittany, good day. We go live in November, even if we have met our targeted 2.5 million. This will enable more people to come on board. And you know, I am leaning towards that November thing not because of anything, but I think if I see a different mindset, knowing that the money is no longer an issue, then at the end of at the 15th of September or the end of September, we can go no. But we must satisfy ourselves that we have done our best and execute our philosophy and our mission. It should before December so that everybody can purchase, because there are a lot of people preparing to raise funds for purchase. Thank you very much. I think we should go in November so as to allow more people to get this coin when it is still cheap. And that is true, because once we go on the exchange, I know that this will blow out. It will not sit idle by waiting for anyone. And my gut feeling is that the elites will jump on this coin and shoot it to 10,000 in a couple of months. And by doing that, where will it leave the majority? May I say to you, the foundation that we are now building in TACC, I say when this coin hit the market, it will shoot like a rocket, because we would have laid the foundation. I'm saying to a lot of you, half of the story have not been told. And so Mr. Abundant is speaking from an advantage position of what is likely to happen. And so do not take TACC lightly. When I say to you, I am now walking through TACC airport and a boarding TACC airline, Mr. Abundant knows what he's saying. When I told you I am walking through TACC, the abundant state-of-the-art medical universities and hospitals in all 5 regions of Africa, I know what I am saying. When I said to you that Mr. Abundance is walking through our manufacturing plants in Africa, in Europe, in Asia, in the Caribbean, Mr. Abundance producing auto vehicles, because I am saying to the TACC, in the Caribbean, all our cars come from Japan, China, America. Nothing comes from Africa. That must come to an end with the Abundance Community Coin. We will open up manufacturers in Africa, and we will produce our own cars, our own bus line. We will build our own airlines. Nothing is above us. It is the richest continent on earth. We will make our own cell phones. We don't need any other country. We are self-sufficient. The thing is, we do not know who we are. We are conditioned to believe that we must permanently be hewers of woods and carriers of waters. No, that's not our lot. That is why they don't want us to come together. They don't want us to unite. Look where Africa is. I am now saying to my brothers and sisters in Africa, when the Sahara desert, when the Sahara dust rises over Africa, within 24 to 36 hours, it's already in the Caribbean. Now you tell me, how far is Africa from us? I am saying to you now, when the Sahara dust rises from the continent of Africa in the east, in less than 36 hours, it's in Antigua and Barbuda. Now you tell me, how far is Africa from the Caribbean? And so when we put our jet in the air, pointing from the Caribbean to Africa, there are some who have already said it's only 3.5 hours. I have never seen any dust I have never seen any dust rise from Miami, New York, London, France, Germany to the Caribbean. It never happened. But we have seen the Sahara dust land on my rooftop in Antigua and Barbuda. The question is how many people are involved or are able to compete the registration and regulations at the exchange. Not too sure about that. Let's bring this debate to a close. Good evening, Mr. Abundance. Festus here. Good evening, Mr. Abundance. My opinion concerning TACC going to the exchange, I want to go through the second and third round to fulfill all promises made by TACC for the sake of the less privileged. I suggest we keep the fund and still wait for more people to join TACC and go to the exchange as scheduled in December. I think should go to exchange by the end of the second round. There should be rules that many follow in terms of utilization. Now, we cannot control how people use their money. We can give advice, as that's why our television and radio, we are now testing them so that we can, give advice. People are allowed to take it or not. When you have your money in the bank, can anybody tell you how to spend it? No. We are not here to dictate. We are here to give you advice. We are here to say, listen, this is how, if all of us want this coin to appreciate to $5, $10, $20, $100, $1,000, listen, this is what we all need to do. We can control the appreciation of the coin by being meaningful. Mr. Abundance, I'm of the opinion that we will wait till the end of the second round, and if possible, go third round, because we need more people. We have to raise everyone, and that is our one of our French translator in Nigeria, and that's my sentiment. And so I think that this is the time for us now to go out with confidence that we are not following the pattern of any coin. No coin and coin market cap have our structure. We are not about who first and how fast you reach the exchange. That is not our issue. Our issue is to educate our people that a new day has dawned. And all these programs that came before to lift 1 and 2 out of poverty, this is not the model we are here creating. This model that we are creating, and we have said it, must go to the grassroots, into the villages, into the rural areas, that persons that don't have light and water, persons that are still using latrine in their houses, persons whose house do not have floors. I am saying there is where TACC needs to go. So when we lose TACC in the market, it is a tide that will rise everyone, not someone. I said this morning, there is a difference between a recruiter and leadership. A recruiter goes with the fastest and the strongest. I said a recruiter goes with the fastest and the strongest, and they hope that those who are left behind will eventually come up to that same speed like those who are at the front. That is a recruiter. But a leader analyzes each person's ability within that team, knowing that the weakest point of that chain is the strongest link, the strongest part of the link. And so that leader takes everyone with him. That's the difference between leadership and sponsorship, recruitmentship. Recruiters look for the fastest. Leaders look for everyone. Recruiters pick those who makes the most noise. Leaders motivate everyone. Recruiters look for the short term. Leaders secure legacies. That's what it is. There's a fundamental difference. Greetings, Mr. Abundance. I see this off as a divine. Remember, you are dealing with people with conditioned mindset. Even if you leave the certification till next year, it will not change some things. Oh, dear me. That is a low blow, but it's a reality as well. We are dealing with a mindset. Because the ark was open and nobody showed up. And Spirit of Prophecy says, those that entered the ark is not because they believe, they went in because of sheer obedience. Even if it will take us third round to certify the coin, better to enable us to bring in the deprived ones, have enough numbers, since it's all a numbers game. TACC shouldn't be hijacked by the elites. Once again, good evening, Mr. Abundance and the entire community of TACC. I am of the opinion that the fund be received and not rejected, but the certification still wait until December. Mr. Abundance, we can go to the exchange, be looking for the numbers, and that will let the people troop in into the TACC community like the way we want it. That's another thought. Please, despite we are not buying the vision enough, despite people not believing the vision, yet there are many who wish to come, but no finance yet. From Lesotho, I have a question. If we would have reached the 2.5 during the first round with a number if TACC we would have right now, were we going to delay going on the exchange until more people join? Well, it will be the same thing. Nothing changes. It's not when we get the money. Is are we satisfied with enough of us that our vision imply, our slogan imply? Are we being moved by money, or are we moved by the upliftment of our people? Are we moved by dollars, or are we moved by the eradication of poverty? Are we moved by shiny objects, or are we moved by helping humanity? What is it that drives us? Is it the money, or is it to free our people from malaria, from typhoid fever, from hunger and starvation? What is it that drives us, my people? Because money doesn't change anyone. It just amplifies who you were. Good evening, Mr. Abundance. Yes, Mr. Cyril from Nigeria. We must be guided by the vision. Thank you very much. Let us go to the exchange by October 15th. One TACC started in 2019. That is a year after. Any further delay in certification has no effect, because that will be whatever it will be. It will be. Good evening, Tiashans and Mr. Abundance. Our opinion in Namibia will be to wait for TACC to be 1 year old before it goes to the exchange. No, we cannot wait for 1 year. Based on the principles and procedures that govern exchange, certification of coins, it has a limited time. Some do it in couple of weeks, some in 1 month, some between 3 to 12 months. And so what we have done, we have basically give it a reasonable time so that we can educate people. That's what we're doing. we are not rushing anything. We are using this time to create a new breed of millionaires and a new breed of individual who understand that cryptocurrency is here to transform our lives if we understand what to do and how to do it. Kingdom Stars, greetings and observations, Kingdom from Ghana. Thank you very much. Ghana is in the house. Good evening, Mr. Abundance. You're a great leader. I believe we need to go to December, even though we would have raised a fund before then because we have a mission to accomplish. Thank you very much. Good evening, community of TACC. Let the second round end before we go to the public. My suggestion is to let the coin be certified before the crypto regulation that is coming up soonest catches up with us. Do you think that the elites are not aware of what we're doing? As we debate, let us rethink how we can affect one child, one TACC, one youth, one TACC. My humble opinion is that let us donate one TACC to each youth upon their dream in entrepreneur industry. We accept the offer with our whole hearts, but wait to celebrate tax. The elites might reset their clock because tax is alone. Tax, I did say that now. We have to certify the coins because the elites are now coming into the space and they are going to make the rule to suit themselves. And so you have a point. Even the Tiashans from the UK, Jack, good evening, Tiashan from the UK. Thank you very much. Good evening, Mr. Abundance and all the Tiashan watching from Namibia. Thank you very much. Good evening, sir. Sunday in Bangkok, watching from Nigeria. Nigeria. Congratulations. Thank you very much. All right, now I'm going to the end so that we can finish this. And so the last person at the end here is Ainsley Griffith. Good evening, house. Thank you very much, Ainsley. Good evening, Mr. Abundance. TACC is going to appeal. Let's wait until the third batch is. Good evening, Mr. Abundance. May I recommend you for the good, commend you for the good work you have been doing for humanity. Thank you very much. Madam Diana, people should be able to say all others have failed us. In TACC we trust. I like that, which is true. They must say all others have failed us. In TACC we trust. I like that. Give more people an opportunity to claim that statement. I have joined the meeting late. Still traveling. Good evening to you all. And may God bless you. Thank you, my dear leader down there from Namibia. We should reject the offer, wait till December, and let's bring in new members and let's help the less fortunate. That's an opinion there. Very strong opinion. Each youth should apply and TACC administration to educate. Okay, I think that we have done that already. I think that no, we have not done that because I'm now seeing prosperous prints. Each youth should apply and the TACC administration do an evaluation before awarding the coin. They will be enrolled into the Empowerment of TACC Foundation grant. I'm not too sure if that is the idea to actually give youth a grant or a coin. I am saying that parents and youth who are working should at least have a coin, a TACC. We have our charity program where we will deal with the less fortunate, those that cannot afford, our children in orphanage, families that are living under severe poverty. These are what our programs, our charitable programs are here to solve. But just because you're a youth, we are not saying that you're going to get a coin from TACC. Some of the youths have more money than their parents. Good evening, house. Personally, I think we should wait until December because would like to sign 200 more people by then to lift them out of poverty. We are in a great place. I want to thank Mr. Prince for that, our National Executive Coordinator for the UK. Good evening, Mr. Abundance and all the Tiashans in the house. TACC is going to appeal, watching from Papua New Guinea. Thank you very much there, Carol Angie. Good evening, sir. I think that was the last one. All right. So I want to thank all of you who have joined us this evening to lend your views. I think we can conclude that everyone wants the coins to be certified, and that is without saying. I think majority of us are also very mindful of our mission and our vision and our slogan that we must take the most with us and not the least. I think give it some time for certification so that we now become more meaningful, because probably what I should do is to go through the list of those who want it to go now and see how many persons they have really brought on. And so if they are saying it out of a good place or a selfish place, you see, because that is it, you know. It's just like, remember when Solomon had to decide whose child it was, when one woman allegedly rolled over. And by the way, all these are parables. These are pure parable. One woman rolled over the other, and one said, you know, when he says whose child it is, both of them said his. And he said, all right, hand me the knife, hand me the cutlass. Let us do a reasonable thing. Let us divide this child. Give each mother half. And one of the mothers said, no, give it to her. It shows that a compassion from a womb. And the brilliance of Solomon was, give it to her. That's wisdom. And so sometimes when people speak, how do you know out of what place they speak? Out of what place do they speak? Do they speak from a united, caring, and all-inclusive, a place where they would have tired, cease suffering? Or do they speak from a place of where they see themselves and themselves only? And so as this debate continues, may we speak from that place that when we look back at our decisions, we can say that of a truth, what a difference a day makes when kindness touches it. Good evening. This is Mr. Abundance. This is Mr. Abundance. Mr. Blair James. Thank you very much, Mr. Blair. I just saw you. I just saw you before I close off. Welcome, one of our newest station. Exactly. What would work? Let's see those who are truly working. No, it's true. No, those who are saying, let's go now. You know, I wonder if we did a clear examination of who and how many they have brought and what they have invested, if they're speaking from a new place, from a sincere place. What is the condition of there's no condition. What condition can they do? They cannot offer any. What is the condition? You offer your money, you get your coins. The individual, I believe, has a heart like Mr. Abundance, and they are doing it from that standpoint. but they do not know the consequences of even doing good. So we now have to balance it so that our good be not speaking evil of or spoken evil of. Because that's what the script says now. Be mindful that your good is not spoken evil of. And so we have to be mindful. Hi, good morning. I'm listening from Papua New Guinea. Please let us accept a portion of the offer, and we can just return him away. We can't just turn him away. No, we're not saying that either. We're not saying that. All what we're saying, in our acceptance, let us keep a level eye. Let us keep a level eye. And let us do what our principle applies, our vision, our mission applies. Because we do not want the coin to lose in the market, that it goes so fast that it still creates a 1%. No, we're saying, can we use this time between now September, now October? Those who are saying go now, let me see from today your action, because don't tell me what you're doing, because I know. So you don't need to tell me what you're doing. You don't need to say, Mr. Abundance, I am recruiting 100. No, I can tell you if you're lying. And so your demonstration, your action, your engagement now, between now and the 15th of September, will demonstrate if we go to the exchange or not. That's what it is. Based on your engagement, because it's not good enough to be enthused about something like Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders had a lot of enthusiastics around him. Thousands and millions donated funds for his campaign. But when the day came for them to engage, to put him in the White House, they all fell. He fell on his face flat, because what he had was enthusiasm without engagement. Let it not be found in TACC that we only have enthusiasm, but with no engagement. Good evening.